What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be solving this hard-level data analyst SQL interview question from Google and Netflix called Top Percentile Fraud. So for this question, we have a company called ABC Corp, and it's a mid-sized insurer. And what ABC Corp did is they created a machine learning-based predictive model to identify the propensity of fraudulent claims. And what we have to do is that we have to find the top 5 percentile of claims from each state, and our output should be 4 columns for policy number, date, claim cost, and fraud score. And if we look at the table, we only have one table here, fraud score, with the columns for policy num, state, claim cost, and fraud score, which are all the columns that we have to output. So for this question, we need to find the top 5 percentiles of claims. And the column that we have to focus specifically on is fraud score only. We can ignore the rest of the column as long as we output them, but the main column we have to focus on to find the top 5 percentile is just fraud score. Before we start, we should have a general understanding of what a percentile is. A percentile is something that compares one value to other values in the same data set. So if we want the top 5 percentile fraud scores, then that is another way of saying 95th percentile. This means that we have to find fraud scores for each state that is greater than 95% of fraud scores for that state. So let's get this started then. The main columns we want to output are policy number, state, claim cost, and fraud score. So we can do select and then reference the column names individually, policy number, state, claim cost, and fraud score. And we only have one table, so we're just going to select it from the table fraud score. And let's click run to see what we get. So we get this table here that shows all the columns and their output here. And the main thing we want to focus on is this column fraud score to find the top 5 percentile. Now this question is labeled as hard, but it can be very easy to do if you know this Windows function called %rank. So let's use this Windows function, %rank. And what this function does is that it allows us to find the percentile based on the ranking of a certain column. So if I do parentheses and then do over parentheses, I'm going to partition by each state, and we're going to order by the fraud score from highest to lowest, or descending order. And we're going to label this column as, or this output as, fraud score, %rank. And if I run it, we get a new output this time that shows the percentage or the ranking of each score. And the next thing we want to do is that we want to filter the data, right, based on the top 5 percentile, or like the 95th percentile. So what we can do next is that we can create a subquery out of this. So if I enclose all of this in a parentheses and select the main outputs again, so select policy, num, state, claim cost, and fraud score from the subquery, and we'll give this derived table as the name fraud score with percentile. And what we want to do is that we want to be able to filter data based on the percentile, right? Since we want, in this case, since we want the top 5% of the 95th percentile, we can just filter this based on the fraud score %rank that's less than or equal to 0.05, since the data is already ordered from highest to lowest for fraud score. So underneath this, we're going to include the where statement, and we're going to do where fraud score %rank is less than or equal to 0.05. And if I run this now, we get this output here for California, Florida, New York, and Texas. And let's see if the first 5 output matches with the expected output, and which it looks like it does based on all these rows here. And since it matches the expected output, let's submit the solution. Now you see that it says solved here. That's because I attempted the problem before recording, so it showed solved already. So if I click solved again, and it looks like my solution went through, and it was completed within 0.009 seconds. Now that's just one way of doing it based on the criteria here. If we change this from descending to ascending order, and we change this number from 0.05, well, from less than or equal to 0.05 to greater than or equal to 0.95, and click solve, we get back the same correct answer this time. We're just flipping the order of the certain columns when we do this. So this would be super easy to do if you knew how to use the %rank Windows function. And this is part of MySQL as well. Other SQL languages might have their own Windows function for it. But if you didn't know how to use the Windows function, then you'd have to find a workaround to use the formula for finding the percentile. I hope this video was helpful in solving the top percentile fraud SQL problem from StrataScratch. If you want to see another SQL problem, but from a different website like LeetCode, then you should definitely check out this video I uploaded before called Can You Solve This Hard SQL Interview Question from LeetCode, Department Top 3 Salaries. As always, if you guys found this video to be helpful, then please like and comment down below what else you'd want to see. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.